take a look at women's rugby in South Africa. Now, I've got two guests in studio who will be joining me, or they've already actually joined me, and these are the coach of the Pirates Rugby Club, Chanel Alberts, as well as women's Springbok rugby player, Piwokuhle, Nyanda, and they are sitting right across from me, social distancing. As always, ladies, thank you so much for joining me tonight, and welcome to Sports at Prime.
Thank you for having us.
It's an absolute pleasure. I mean, I'm going to start with you, Chanel. You are a coach, a former rugby player, and your career was ended by injury. So you've decided to go into coaching. And of course, being a female rugby player in this country means that you would have remained a amateur, so to speak, but you played for the Lions.
Yes, I captained the Lions, actually. And, you know, I've always had a passion for rugby. It was since I was a young girl. But I never ever thought the possibility existed for me to ever coach. And I studied strength and conditioning coach as a sports scientist, and then the opportunity came.
And I mean, here you are now, and which is a fantastic thing. But let's talk about the kind of support that you would have been receiving throughout your career, going into coaching now as well. It must have been a very difficult thing for you to do, being a provincial player, but still seen as an amateur.
Yes, I think there's always a challenge, especially in terms of where we're heading. But I think, you know, women's rugby has grown tremendously. Right now, it's one of the fastest growing sports in the world. And I think that just creates a demand. And I think with MasterCard coming on board, sponsoring the Golden Lions and sponsoring a league and creating that playing opportunity, I think that's going to bring some change.
Absolutely, and we hope so. I mean, Pio, you are currently in the box setup at the moment. We're talking a little bit before this interview about what do you do on the daily basis, whether you have a job, and it came to the fore that essentially there's only two players that are professional rugby players in the female setup at the moment in the entire country.
So we also have, like, for 15s, we only have, like, Babala, obviously, and then for 7s, we do have the 7s ladies being contracted. But yeah, we are trying to move forward. I mean, Babalwa is inspiring all of us. I mean, we all kind of look up to her because, you know, change starts with one person. So I feel like we're heading into the right direction. But yes, at the moment, rugby is not professional, we're amateur. So we all have different career paths that we're doing. Like, for example, at Pirates, we have engineers, we have teachers. I'm an operations manager. So, you know, we play as a passion, and we also work our full-time jobs.
I mean, it must be very difficult to, as you say, play as a passion and have to work full-time as well, because being a professional sports, anything requires a lot of dedication and a lot of time as well. Let's talk about, you know, the kind of stigma that you receive as well, being a professional women's rugby player, that, you know, you go around, and I suppose it's not only from men, but also from women that you receive.
Not, you know, it's not like, I'm not going to say it's not lack of a problem, but, you know, we play rugby because we love it, and you do whatever you have to do for something that you love. So, I mean, I went to varsity, and if it wasn't for varsity, I wouldn't have played rugby. I played rugby at varsity. So, you know, you get exposed to rugby, doing other things, and, you know, you try and make something out of it. So I got into coaching. Even though I started in the engineering sector, I ended up being a coach, you know, spreading the love in the game and hoping that, you know, in the future that you don't have to be an operations manager and a rugby player. You can just be a rugby player.
Absolutely. Chanel, what would it take for us to move into a space where rugby is more professional, seen as a professional game in South Africa? In Europe, we're already there, but in South Africa, we seem to be lagging far behind.
I think, you know, bringing the fact that sevens rugby became part of the Rio Olympics, it really started this growth that's just incredible. And I think slowly but surely we're catching up. But we need people or companies like MasterCard to invest in grassroots rugby, to allow us the opportunity to grow and develop the game at grassroots, so that we can eventually contribute to the national side. I think this, just to add to Pill, the reason why women are still playing rugby is because it's so empowering and it's so liberating, and it just allows you a space where you can express yourself, and it allows you a place where you can be a leader and you can develop and actually contribute.
I mean, there's so much that I want to talk to you ladies about regarding this, but unfortunately we are running out of time. Piwo, I know that you're getting ready for the Rugby World Cup next year in New Zealand. All the best. I hope you're keeping fit. I don't know how you would during the lockdown. How's that going?
It's going very well. I mean, rugby teaches us discipline, you know, and I mean, the MasterCard sponsorship couldn't have come in like a better time. I mean, for me, it was more of a motivation. I mean, I know for a fact now that I'm going to have more game time. So come next year, I should be ready because, I mean, I have the likes of MasterCard behind me, supporting me from the Golden Lion side.
Ladies, thank you so much for coming into studio.
Thank you.